Hello everyone. Before we start today's video, if you could all do me a solid and lightly tap the like button, perhaps share the video about and leave a comment. If you are not subscribed, subscribe as well. It would greatly help this channel. Thank you very much. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's log. Subdates 221002.3. We scooped up enough fuel for our furnaces for a good month of non-stop replicator use. With new orders received, we are now heading out to mediate a dispute between the Guntkin and the Glassjawskis. Okay, so it was only a matter of time before Kanye West did this, and it tickled me to no end, I will admit. I even said so on Twitter, because I couldn't believe he had the balls to actually do it. For many a year, many a time, the discussion of whether certain lives matter or not has been at the forefront of many debates concerning various lives matter movements. White lives matter has usually been pushed to the side because they hold all the power, all the cards, and other bollocks I couldn't care less about. I've been very consistent in my position that for all lives to matter, we need to accept that at present, not a single life actually matters. This has been proven to be the case far too much recently. When it came to things like lockdown, the governments in many countries like to use the idea that they were doing it to protect us. Others believed, and I certainly tended to towards the end of this believed, that perhaps this was less about caring and more about showing controlling. It didn't look good because it kept on happening. But this is a derailment of what Kanye West has done, which in turn has led to a rather grand spurgeoning. And to further support my point, I did tweet out, this one did make me chuckle, yes, no lives matter, and people had replied. Anne very kindly replied with a, here's that attention you ordered. Miss Raven, I'll agree at this point, in the grand scheme of things, no lives matter. Because if lives actually did matter, we would be working together to unify rather than divide. An idiot. All human life is equal value and import. Reality is uncaring of this though, and humanity often fails to realize the true value of many things. That is because humanity for the most part takes a lot for granted as they as a species progresses. History is often forgotten, mistakes are usually repeated. And finally, best bits, hashtag No Lives Matter 2024. Damn right. Screw the meteor, vote Cthulhu 2024, and let's get this over with. So what did Kanye West do? Kanye West attended a show, a Yeezy surprise fashion show. Yeezy is his brand. His trainers, through Adidas I believe, were exceedingly popular, while he wasn't considered, batshit insane at the time. He's always been a bit quirky though, I think we can all agree on that. At this show, he, along with many others, wore clothes with a particular slogan across it. This slogan has been dubbed a response to the Black Lives Matter movement that was founded in 2013. Others that posed with him included Candace Owens, who all looked rather happy while wearing a complimentary version of the shirt they were wearing. Kanye's own daughter, Northwest, was also present for this particular show. Yesterday I ranted about that kind of negative publicity that really takes away from another point you might try and make, and this is no exception, because there's always going to be a risk when you do something like this. Chances are it's gonna go down like a lump of lead, alright? And chances are if it goes down like a lump of lead, no one's going to actually have the discussion that you might be trying to encourage in favor of, has anyone thought that maybe Kanye needs help now? Can we stop? Can we have an intervention? The slogan on his shirt, on many people's shirts in fact, simply read, White Lives Matter. Oh dear God. The response to this has been a resounding success. If by resounding success you mean people may. At the start of this event, Kanye started with saying, I am Yee, and everyone here knows that I am the leader. You can't manage me. For those who don't know, Kanye, or Yee, likes to get under people's skin by saying the most outrageous things possible, because people still buy his music. And they lap it up, they buy his Yeezys, they buy into his brand and have done for a long time. It is unlikely to show any relenting because it seems he is almost untouchable in this regard. In the past, Kanye had suggested that 400 years of slavery might have been a choice, and because they're super respected by everyone, the ADL had actually called the phrase White Lives Matter a hate slogan. That particular slogan had in fact been used by the KKK along with other white supremacist organizations for a while. Can you understand why this might not go down very well, or why the response, understandably, is obviously quite serious, but hard not to laugh at because you really can't believe Kanye had the balls to do it, and then he rocks up and does it. I genuinely struggle with this solely because I'm impressed at the balls on him to actually do it. Now, some of the responses to this have been quite cliche, but we're going to go through one or two that I found quite typical and amusing because I want you to digest this and try to laugh as much as I have been while trying to record this. Manifest McClinton. Do white lives not matter? Response. We don't need a reminder of the worth of white lives. America is a shrine to the worth of white people. This message is reactionary to a message affirming the worth of black lives, which have never been worth anything in America. In its intent, it's a white supremacist notion because it posits that we can't have a conversation about the worth of black people without having a conversation of the worth of white people, which is effing insane. The notion that it always has to be about white people in America is incredibly frustrating, emotionally draining, and the whole problem. But here's Kanye apparently centering that notion. This particular person is a producer for TMZ. Next we have Jamel Hill. So many folks are trying to excuse Kanye wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt as just a troll move or marketing. Maybe it is. But it is a dangerously dumb message to send for someone with his massive platform. I don't understand the next sentence. But y'all go ahead labeling his foolishness as genius. Jaden, the son of Will Smith, tweeted Black Lives Matter and actually left the show because I believe they were in attendance. Mark Lamont Hill. Kanye West's decision to wear a White Lives Matter shirt is disgusting, dangerous, and irresponsible. Some of y'all will rush to defend him. You should ask yourselves why. I'm not going to defend the shirt he wore because it looked like crap, and I like wearing band shirts because at least there's some artwork on it. But I'm also not going to defend because I can't be arsed. It's much funnier watching people get mad about stuff like this. The discussion of race and the discussion of whether people should discuss people's worth within a nation is a very complex matter, and as I'm English, that discussion is not the same as it is in America, or more importantly, within individual states within America. Try not to forget here, your republic is far too large to have such a discussion without some voices not being listened to. It has to be done on a much more local level. In my country, the discussion can be had. The discussion typically is had. But we also understand that it's not as easy as simply saying, these lives matter. Sometimes you have to play it colorblind. But that is a very different situation for the United Kingdom. Again though, racism exists everywhere. It will always exist. You can try and fight and eradicate it, but there will always be a form of prejudice based on aesthetics. Society moves slowly, and you will always find it a very difficult challenge to have those serious discussions. Kanye West has promoted his brand. He is a troll, and a very good one. A guy that wore a jacket with a Confederate flag on. The guy wore a MAGA hat, met Trump, and then dunked on Trump not long after to then celebrate Trump again. He's a flip-flop. Everyone knows this. But he's a flip-flop troll that knows how to turn a trick into something more. Will the discussion of White Lives Matter have anything positive from it? No. White Lives Matter will trend on Twitter for a while, and most of the people under that will simply say, "Who's saying White Lives Matter? By saying this, you're saying the Black Lives don't." When you see that tweet quite a lot on that particular thread or anywhere else on Twitter, you'll realize it is quite tedious and or aggravating. Do White Lives Matter? No. Do Black Lives Matter? No. Do Blue Lives Matter? No. Do any other lives matter? Dogs' lives do, yes, but everyone else's, no. No lives matter. That is the correct way forward for all of you, and if it's not the message you took away from this video, then you clearly failed to smash the like. This has been my TED Talk.